Hi friends, my name is Sandra. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to share a bit of my experience in terms of choosing between miles and cashback credit cards. And hopefully this will give you an insight on whether or not to choose between a miles or cashback credit card. So when I was a young working adult, just entered the workforce, I knew my spending pattern was more geared towards online shopping. Because back then my job was quite stressful, so shopping was a way for distress for me. So I would spend about at least $300 to $500 on online shopping for clothes every month, which is not good lah. I do not recommend. I've since cut down a little since then. So because I was spending this amount on online shopping, and because I was doing most of my banking with DBS, so I applied for the DBS Live Fresh card. And it was very good because every month I will get at least $20 to $30 plus of cashback in my credit account every month. And then after that, when I got into researching the high yield savings account interest rate, I realized that OCBC was a bit more attractive. So I decided to shift my banking over to OCBC. And in order to get the higher interest rate in OCBC, I had to spend on one of their shortlisted credit cards. So I was like, okay, let's go with another cashback credit card, and I went with OCBC 365 credit card. And I didn't really think much because I thought I was like, okay lah, I will spend on transport and grocery and dining also. But then I realized after that I was actually getting less than $10 cashback a month. And so because I was still working and staying with my parents, so I did not spend much on groceries. I realized I was just only buying like a few potato chips a month. Then I was not eating out at restaurants. Most of the time was kopitiam. Yeah, and shopping a lot, which the OCBC 365 did not really cover it. So my cashback was very little lah, which I was like, but no choice because it gave me a much higher interest rate in OCBC 360, so I still stuck with it. Then around that point of time, I was also dating someone who used to spend lavishly, and he was always telling me that he have millions in miles and he wore it like a badge of honor. And then he started like swanning me on how I was just focusing on cashback cards and not trying to exchange them for miles and losing out on thousands of miles every month. So after hearing that, and after hearing how I could potentially get a free business class flight, I went to change my cashback to miles cards instead. So I went to apply for DBS Women World MasterCard, which now is still in my repertoire because it's a very useful card, because I still spend a lot on shopping, on online shopping especially. And then I also got HSBC Revolution, which is a good card. However, if you want SQ flights, right, the conversion rate is 3.33 instead of 4 miles per dollar lah. Then I also went for UOB PPV because I wanted something for in-person contactless spend. But then UOB PPV has a $5 spending block, and most of my spends were in, I realized most of my spends were in small amounts, and these small amounts often are not in multiples of 5. So in the end, I use most of my daily spending on other cards instead, and only use like big purchases, more than $100 on the UOB PPV, which in the end, I mean, who will have many multiple daily purchases more than $100? Not many ma. So in the end, PPV didn't really work out for me lah. Yeah, so yeah, I realized after chasing miles that actually the miles game is very tedious because you need to adjust your spending patterns. Then you need to know for which spend, which credit card is the best. And then you also need to know for what kind of transfer partners are the best. You also need to understand the expiry of your miles. Then you also need to find out which flights give the most value. You need to camp for the flights on redemption. And you need to be very flexible with what kind of flights you can redeem for. And wherever you work at, right, they need to have a flexible leave pattern. If let's say your work doesn't approve of leave on your redeem business class flight, then you GG ah. Yeah, so you and then you need to like start planning your trip around the business class flight that you redeem, instead of just planning your trip based on your own interests. Yeah, so it is multiple factors in terms of the miles game, which I later come to realize, wow, so tedious. So right now I am 1 year in my miles game, and I've only redeemed I've only have less than 50,000 miles in my KrisFlyer account. But luckily, my fiance and I are spending quite a bit on our wedding planning. So okay lah, the miles are racking up in his account. So we have decided that once we redeem business class round trip flights for both of us for our honeymoon, we will probably go back to the cashback game instead. I think, let's say if your spend is less than $2,000 per month, right? Just go for cashback. It's much more straightforward and more bang for your buck. Why $2,000? Okay, we go through the math. If let's say you are spending $1,000 per month, let me go with $1,000 per month first. $1,000 per month, if you spend all on cashback cards, cashback cards, you have many type of cashback cards. Some cashback cards, they give you a flat rate. That means whatever spend you do, it doesn't matter which category it is, they just give you a flat cashback rate. And that can be about 1.7%. Then you have specialized spending cards like the Live Fresh card that I mentioned to you earlier, that gives you 5% cashback on certain specialized spend. So if you average out, right, the cashback between 1.7 to 5%, we take about a conservative 3.5%. Okay, 3.5% cashback on $1,000 spent per month. That means $35 of cashback every month, which is very attainable, because this was what I spent and earned, $35 every month with less than $1,000 spent. So $35 every month, that would mean a cashback of $420 a year. Whereas if you spend this $1,000 per month on miles card instead, miles card, you also have flat rate miles earned cards, which give about 1.4 miles per dollar. Then you have specialized miles card as well that give 4 miles per dollar. Some even give up to 8, up to 10, but we take 4, okay? So 1.4 to 4 miles per dollar, average we take about 3 miles per dollar. Why I cut it from 4 miles is because you will miss some miles here and there, because remember just now I mentioned about the $5 spending block or the 3.3 conversion rate for HSBC. So we take 3.3 miles per dollar average. So 3 miles per dollar on a $1,000 per month spend, that will be 3,000 miles that you earn per month if you spend $1,000 per month. And let's say you count a round trip to Japan on business class, it takes about 120,000 miles to redeem a round trip business class flight. So 120,000 miles divided by 3,000 miles per month, that will take you 40 months to earn that amount. 40 months is 3.3 years. 3.3 years, you GG lah, your miles already expired already. So if you spend $1,000 per month, right, you will not earn fast enough to outpace the expiry of your miles. Okay, so 1,000 cannot. Let's say you spend $2,000 per month. Let's compare 2,000 per month expenditure. Your $2,000 per month on a cashback of 3.5%, like just now the earlier scenario that I mentioned, you will get $70 per month in cashback. $70 per month in cashback is $840 cashback per year. Let's say you spend this $2,000 on a miles card instead, average earn rate of about 3 miles per dollar. That will mean 6,000 miles per month. And same thing, if you want to redeem a round trip to Japan, cost 120,000 miles, divide by 6,000 miles, that will take you 20 months. 20 months is 1.6 years. In this same amount of time, 20 months, you will earn about $1,400 in cashback. Okay, $1,400 in cashback. Let's say you spend this $2,000 per month in cashback cards instead of miles cards. $1,400. $1,400, if let's say you are not a very particular person, you don't mind taking economy flights on budget airlines. So budget airlines for a round trip to Japan in economy class is about $500 to $700. So if you spend this amount of money, $700 on a economy flight ticket, and remember this economy flight ticket, you can choose whatever time and whatever date you want to go. In fact, you want to go tomorrow, so you can go. You don't have to go and camp, and you don't have to go and plan your flight dates or your leave dates according to whichever flight you can redeem. So it's up to you lah, your own decision as to when you want to fly. So 1,400 in cashback in 20 months minus $700 round trip economy budget airline trip, you still left $700. So you still get extra additional $700 if you have chosen a cashback card instead of a miles card. So of course some people will say, oh, I would gladly pay $700 to upgrade to a business flight. Yeah, but this $700 is at inconvenience of you having to plan your purchases, plan which card, plan how to redeem your miles, and then have to be fast enough to redeem your miles, and then you have to plan your trip around your flights, and many other inconveniences. Although I have not taken a business flight yet, so I'm unable to comment how valuable a business flight will be for myself. But once we manage to redeem it, I'll let you know again. So basically, I feel that if you are a person that is frugal in nature, you believe in the FIRE movement, that means you want to spend less to retire hopefully earlier. You don't place much emphasis on business class flying in luxury, and your expenditure is not more than $2,000 per month, then go for cashback. Yeah. So 4 questions to ask yourself before you choose between cashback or miles card. Number 1, do you travel overseas at least 2 to 3 times a year? Number 2, will you willingly pay extra for business class ticket? Number 3, do you enjoy being a psycho and researching a lot on cards and flight? Number 4, do you spend at least $2,000 per month? If you have answered no to all these 4 questions, then go for cashback card. My conclusion is, don't let anyone make you feel FOMO or make you feel stupid for choosing cashback over miles card. And if you do choose miles card, remember, don't lifestyle inflate and spend more just to accumulate more miles. Okay, that's it. Thank you. See you next video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.